This video is sponsored by Outcome Memories. Huge thanks to the team for giving me this opportunity and giving me early access to the characters, and making me a playable character in the game! I'm obviously lying. To clear some things up, I'm not actually sponsored, nor did I get early access. Got that? Okay. Hello, beautiful people, and welcome—
Hey!
What?
Where is the other hot takes video?
I'm working on it.
Shut the fuck up! This isn't what I subscribed for!
Okay, fine! Since you wanted to see hot takes so bad, let's read some right here, right now. Bro, you sound zesty is my hot take.
I have a bomb.
What? I promise the next hot videos— What? I promise the next hot takes video is coming soon. I just wanted to get this video out before version 0.2. Anyways, before starting, I want to give a huge disclaimer. Remember, all the content I talk about here is subject to change or just flat out wrong. I'm not a playtester, nor do I have any contact with any of the testers or the dev team. I'm also just really dumb, so take everything said here with like the biggest grain of salt. Forgive me, the curse of the fan is back. Just want to let you know though, all corrections will be added to the pinned comment. Version 0.2 of Outcome Memories brings two new survivors to the roster, Blaze and Silver, and both of them currently are looking like they're going to be pretty strong, with one looking to be a little too strong, but we'll get into that later. Let's start off by going over— Blaze most likely has 100 base HP and average movement speed. For her passive, at least I'm pretty sure this is her passive, she has a meter. I personally call it Soul Meter, but I don't think that's the official name, so— This Soul Meter can be charged with some abilities and consumed with others to probably apply burn status. For the first ability, she has Round Kick. Blaze kicks at the enemy. When she lands the kick, she stuns the EXE for probably 3 seconds, and builds up 25 Soul Meter, at least from what I've seen. If you miss the kick, you ragdoll and lose some Soul Meter. This ability currently has a cooldown of 16 seconds in test footage. Blaze's technically second ability is Soul Boost. It replaces Round Kick and it can be used when you jump. There's technically 2 variations of this move, I guess? So let's go over those really quick. Version 1 can be used with 0 to low meter in short range, and when landing it, you gain meter. Variation 2 will do the same thing, except it'll consume soul meter. And I'm pretty sure it applies burn status since it consumes soul meter, but I'm not too sure. The ability can also be used for mobility if you're using Variation 2, so consuming soul meter. I'm not sure about the stun time here. I'm assuming with Variation 1 you get a 3-second stun, and Variation 2 you get a 5-second stun, maybe? But I just said I'm not sure, and that's more of just a that's what I think it's gonna be, so I could be very wrong here. This ability has a cooldown of 16 seconds. The third ability, but technically the second since it's the only other separate ability, is Burning Javelin. Blaze throws a flaming javelin in the direction you're facing. It doesn't stun, but upon contact it pushes the EXE back and builds up 15 soul meter. This ability has a cooldown of 24 seconds in test footage. Ugh, no. Early access footage. The fourth ability is Soul Flame. Oh, oops, wrong footage. Get out of here. The fourth ability is Soul Flame. Blaze's soul meter must be 35 or above to activate this ability, and this ability works the same as the last one. It replaces Burning Javelin once you reach that requirement. This move also doesn't stun, but it pushes the EXE back upon contact and consumes soul meter. I'm pretty sure it applies burn after a certain amount of time pushing the EXE back, but it could also just have a set chance to apply burn every time it's pushing the EXE back. I'm not sure. I assume that it just applies burn after pushing back for a while. This ability also has a cooldown of 24 seconds in early access footage. That is all I have for Blaze's kit right now, so let's go on to— You know what? We're changing my music together. Take my paws, show me wonders of your world. Okay, so starting with Silver. No, what? Whoa! No, we started with Blaze. Okay, now on to Silver. Oh no, I already had a transition for that. Silver seems to have 105 base HP and average movement speed, I think. Unlike most characters, Silver actually doesn't have any stuns in his kit, just like Cream. Silver also has a meter like Blaze and Sonic. This meter I don't think has any official name either, so I'm gonna call it Psychic Meter. When using his skills, it consumes some of his meter. The meter slowly regenerates just over time. His first ability is Suspension. When landing this skill, it consumes meter to hold the EXE in the air for a set amount of time. You can also throw the EXE during this. Remember this is going to be very important later on. This ability has a 5-second cooldown if you miss, and a 23-second cooldown if you grab and throw the EXE.
The footage I used was deleted, so IT was probably unreliable. In Romeo's guide, IT has a 22-second cooldown.
The second ability is named Rock. This ability consumes some of the meter to pick up rocks and throw them in whichever direction you're facing. When the rocks hit the EXE, they ragdoll. From what I've seen, 2 rocks has a 25-second cooldown and 3 rocks has a 30-second cooldown.
Same story with the last one. In Romeo's Silver Guide, 3 rocks has a 15-second cooldown.
It also consumes a lot of meter to use this ability, so I guess use it cautiously. The third ability is Time Thing. This ability saves a point in time and rewinds you back to it after around 7 seconds, or 8 pings. This skill can be cancelled manually. I think the skill also gets cancelled upon getting hit, but I'm not too sure. In early access footage, this ability has a 15-second cooldown.
Same story as the others, 21st-second cooldown in Romeo's Guide.
Silver also has another unmarked ability, so I guess you'd call it a passive. He can fly. This has a separate stamina bar from the psychic meter, and it does not consume any psychic meter to use this. But this could change upon release. Okay, I quickly wanted to go over some of my initial thoughts here, so you can skip to, I'll put the timestamp on screen, I guess, if you just don't want to hear them at all. So I know these characters are still in their testing phases right now, but right now Blaze and Silver seem a little too good, specifically against 2011X. I know that they're going to release 2 more killers on version 0.2's release, so maybe they're more geared to deal with them, but 2011X seems like he is going to hell when you're going against these characters. Right now, it also kind of just seems like they serve the same purposes as Tails and Knuckles, but they're just objectively better. Well, kind of. Also, why does Silver's flight not consume any meter? From the gameplay I've seen, his meter does get consumed decently fast, but it's hardly low from what I've seen. Although that could just be gameplay. That could be more on the actual person's gameplay than Silver's kit itself. Because I assume if you try to use all 3 abilities, you're gonna have literally no meter at all. But it also recharges really fast. Having a separate stamina bar for his flight was a good decision, at least I think it was. But I think it should more so just act as a cap for how long he can fly. I personally think that flight should consume some of his psychic meter. I'm not saying a lot, but maybe 30 if you use the entire flight, because I feel like when playing Silver, it should be more focused on psychic meter management, I think. Also, just being able to fly away and then quickly regenerate that meter, the flight meter. I don't know, to me it just seems a little broken, but what do I know? I'm just some dumb idiot online. Also, Blaze had such a confusing kit, I had multiple crash outs while making this script. I actually think Blaze is pretty balanced though. She isn't the best stunner in the game, meaning she doesn't have multiple or extra long stuns. She's very versatile, and she has punishments in her kit. But since she has negative competition, she'll probably be labeled as the best stunner in the game, when she comes out. Especially against Fleetway once he comes out. Ah! What was that? No, what was that? Ah! I feel the British Genshin TCer spirit in me! Ow! Hello there, Zelu here. What the Hello there, Zelu here. Whoa, I just got overwhelmed by the spirit of a British Genshin TCer. Anyways, Blaze and Silver probably have the least conventional kits in the entire game, which actually leaves a lot of room for combos and team comps. But before actually starting this section, I wanted to get something out of the way. I have almost no idea what Colossus and Tripwire do. I haven't seen any gameplay of them at all. I've seen some for Colossus, and from what I've seen, he seems pretty broken and annoying, but that was a long while ago. Just wanted to mention that since I won't be taking into account how good they are against Colossus and Tripwire, so. Now, with that out of the way, let's get TCing! That is not a British accent, what the? In the current test cycle, both Blaze and Silver are looking to be the best characters in the game. Out of the 2 of them, I think Silver is actually the best. I'd classify Silver as a support. His Suspend and Rock abilities seem to be really good for stalling, with his Suspend ability seeming especially good for setups. His best teammate, besides Cream, everyone's best teammate would technically be Cream, is probably Blaze or Metal. Blaze can just farm her soul meter off of the suspended killer, and Silver being able to suspend the killer in place solves one of Metal's biggest issues, which was missing his charge entirely. At least I think Metal can grab him out of the suspension. I think I've seen footage of that before. I don't know, I'll put it on screen if he actually can, or if I even found that out. Tails was probably best used to start a stun chain or save teammates from afar, but Silver low-key just power creeps this roll out of Tails.
I forgot to mention that you have to aim Silver suspension. IT looks hard to land if you aren't super close, so Tails has more range and more room for error.
Also, Silver can fly without using an ability, so checkmate, damn liberal! Now Tails kind of just seems like a Silver side grade. Like, if someone stole Silver and you wanted to play the same role, you'd just choose Tails. For my Genshin losers! Like myself. Think of it like what LAUMA's released to Tenehira, or what Novelette's released to Taeto. Also, remember what I said earlier about Silver being able to throw the killer, and how you should remember that? Yeah, that'll probably come in handy on Not Perfect. I can't really think of a good transition to Blaze is definitely a main stunner, no questions asked. Her round kick is a very good way to stun the killer, and it also builds up her soul meter. In the script it says it has appropriate punishments. I guess it's appropriate. She shouldn't be too broken, but holy, that getting ragdolled if you miss, that's crazy. It's just over. Soul Boost is also seeming to be a good way to gain meter, since it just does the same thing as Kick, but Kick just seems generally better if your goal is to build up soul meter. Plus, you won't have to worry about using that meter with Soul Boost if you just don't use it at all, because you want to save it for something better later. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is it's better used as a stun only if you're in like a sticky situation or just as mobility. But it seems more optimal to save the meter to use Soul Flame in most cases. Burning Javelin is also a good move to help build up soul meter and stall the EXE. Her best teammate is probably Silver, since like I said earlier, Silver can suspend the EXE, giving Blaze time to just farm a bit of soul meter off of him. Best case scenario, Blaze is a broken main stunner. Worst case scenario, Blaze is a Knuckles side grade. Either way, Blaze is just overall a very good character, but her punishments are very, well, punishing. So her barrier to entry is probably insanely high. Also, this might be looking a little too far into the future, but Fleetway having HP-based mechanics might make Blaze one of the best survivors to go up against him, since she can apply burn status fairly easily. Anyways, that's all I really have to say for now. How do I smoothly segue this into the outro? Outro! Did that transition work? Anyways, this is now the section of the video where I'm going to talk about stuff related to my channel. But before you leave, let's play a game. Rock, paper, scissors. If I win, you gotta like and subscribe. If you win, you get a cookie or something. You ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot! I win. Anyways, on to a different topic. I really cannot thank you enough for helping me reach 1,000 subscribers. This is a milestone I was hoping to reach one day, but I just didn't think it would happen so soon, so I'm not ready. I don't have anything planned. I'll probably figure something out for like a celebratory video, if that's something you guys even want to see. I don't know. I don't know if anyone's even gonna watch this video. But seriously, thank you so much for your support. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You right there. So, do you want to know what I was doing for weeks instead of working on this video? No? What is Goblin Slayer even about? That's so sad. Ah! What? Anyways, I've kept you here long enough, so I'll let you go now. Remember to take care of yourself, because if you don't, who will? Anyways, I guess I'll see you next lunar cycle. Farewell.